But we're going to find out what they're doing in game number 2. Someone's going to have made adjustment for this one because you cannot fall victim to being unready for a game plan here. Game number 2, Kaldi and Powders get underway.
Very interesting how Powder adjusts here, and yeah, he's going to go to Druid here in Kaldi. We talked about this. Everyone's going to be getting in here in this game. I fully expect to see it from possibly both the players in this match.
Yeah, Powder, I love the cue up from him here. You know, when you're unsure exactly where your opponent's going to be going, tend to go for the mid-range strategy so you can maybe go both ways.
Well, he's got a quick Emperor Thor's on here, and he picks up a Harrison Jones.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Powder. You know, turn 4 Emperor is already bad enough. Imagine if he picks up a second Innervate.
Yeah, Wild Growth here would be great as well.
Now, Keeper the Grove instead. So, Kaldi happy to see this hero power here, but I don't think he knows exactly what's coming. He's not going to be happy on turn 4.
What's coming down the line here is very dangerous.
Yeah, does have a pretty good hand himself, though. You know, 2 Armor Smiths. Harrison Jones made this hand a little bit worse. You know, kind of a dead draw in this spot. But again, double Armor Smith with Death Spike afterwards. He's going to be very happy on turn 3 as well.
Now, if you're Powder, is there any reason you would ever just make a Druid Claw here?
I think the turn 4 Emperor Thorson is just going to be too powerful.
Yeah, it's just too powerful.
But he does need to stop and think about it. I mean, maybe the right times, this card is beautiful.
Yeah, just take out the Armor Smith, make him possibly answer it with 2 spells or a weapon that gets some damage in as well. But yeah, I like this play from Powder.
How could you not take turn 4 Emperor?
Yeah, it's really hard to pass that up.
Now, Kaldi going to add a Tempo Frothing Berserker to the board. I actually really like this.
Yeah, I love this from Kaldi because you're going into the 4 slot. This is the sweet turn for Powder. If he doesn't have exactly swipe here, then you don't get punished because he's most likely to play a big minion here.
Yeah, so Emperor Thorson going to start ramping up Powder's hand, but Kaldi able to use Death Spite, really take this one out and then start applying pressure.
He's going to be applying a lot of pressure. This Frothing Berserker is going to be getting pretty frothy here going for one Slam plus Fiery War Axe here.
That's possible as well, but one of the big problems that's happening is that Kaldi's hand is starting to get very weapon heavy, and he's already picked up the Harrison Jones behind that. And the second Armor Smith, I think decent for extending the game, but the Emperor Thorson, this is really the big draw he needed. And, you know, picking up the Fiery War Axe wasn't a bad draw by any stretch of the means, but he's got 3 almost dead cards sitting in his hand right now.
Yeah, Powder, he has a Wrath and a Hero Power going to take care of this Frothing Berserker. That's an Earthen Ring Farseer.
Yeah, that's a really interesting choice. I wonder why this was put in here. Probably to start fighting some of these early advantage battles, you know, be able to trade minions and then recover those for value. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, Powder, a couple little options that he can do here. He can use Keeper of the Grove along with Wrath to take care of this Frothing Berserker. You know, he could have gotten really fancy with the Druid Claw, taken some extra damage here, but I like this play from him.
Yeah, understanding that he needs to hold Harrison Jones for a Death Spite too. Super important in this one. You know, this isn't a matchup where it's Control Warrior and they won't, you know, get punished by losing their Death Spite. This is a matchup where taking out Death Spite is paramount to victory.
And Kaldi has a couple options this turn, but a lot of them aren't as good as Coin and Emperor Thorson. You know, he could have dealt a Death Spite after attacking to try to get this Grim Patron online going forward, but it's hard to say no to this Emperor Thorson when your hand is this heavy.
What better to match an Emperor Thorson than your own Emperor Thorson? It's pretty tough to compare with that one. And Powder, I can tell you, he is not going to feel comfortable leaving this on board. This may be a Druid of the Claw turn, but Lotham gets picked up. You know, is he fearing something like Death Spite right now? And frankly, it looks like he is, plus the second activation. And just forced to take it out. This is where he's likely to fall behind in this match.
Yeah, he's going to be giving up a lot of tempo here. He's going to fall way behind. Kaldi's going to be able to start taking over this game over the next couple turns. But Powder's hand, not short of a couple ways to fight here, though.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. Kaldi's hand not too fantastic on this step of the way. Is able to set up a Death Spite, gets a second Armor Smith back behind this, but not a lot of real development from him.
Yeah, but he can start getting elsewhere. He can start doing some tempo plays here and get really aggressive with this Harrison Jones and start to try to really, you know, make Powder be defensive from here and get way more value off this Death Spite.
Yeah, I like that he's just turning up the heat and understands that once minions are on the board, those are repetitive sources of damage, and that's a bigger talking point for him than just having a Death Spite on board and a Grim Patron ready to go.
Second Innervate would be a good draw here. Ragnaros not a terrible one, but he's going to need a better board state to play this one.
Yeah, and Kaldi looking so good with his hand now. You know, it started out looking a little bit dangerous for him, but the fact that he's able to get ahead in this spot, and now he has Warsong Commander to go along with his Grim Patron, everything kind of fallen by the wayside here for Powder.
Yeah, perfect draw here for Kaldi. He's got this Warsong Commander with this Grim Patron. He's going to be able to make a lot of minions over the next turn and getting a ton of damage here. Powder going to be able to take away the Death Spite from him, though, with his Harrison Jones.
Yeah, but doesn't have utility to really follow that up. I mean, Harrison and Piloted Shredder, sure, that's great, but he's facing down 7 damage at 15.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. I was going to say, he could draw Swipe to get a little bit into this here, but, you know, again, he's still taking so much damage here on the turn, and then Kaldi gaining so much armor here as well.
Yeah, got to do something to alleviate this pressure from, you know, half your life total in one turn is the last place you want to be.
Yeah, there's so much tension
Even
on this board here.
Picked up. Does he execute here, though, or does he just use the Death Spite? I mean, the execute could be so strong if Powder plays something like say, Ancient of War.
I think you Death Spite here because it sets up a Grim Patron turn, plus you have Acolyte of Pain to get some extra draws. And again, execute. Ooh, he is actually going to execute here as well and just go really aggressive.
Yeah, this will put a lot of pressure on Powder. And again, I think he feels comfortable just fighting through this, given that he can pay his life total very comfortably, and that he's got the Grim Patron on the board and going to be able to make more of those and draw extra cards.
Well, this threatens lethal next turn as well with this Grim Patron and this Warsong Commander. So Powder is going to have to play defensively, or this game's over.
No, it's going to start with Wrath, it looks like, but just, I mean, there's no utility, there's no real utility in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has enough going forward to actually get back in this game. Kaldi's going to be able to do so much damage next turn.
Can't go to 11. That's just not enough. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 6 from Grim Patrons. Kaldi, he's kind of shaking his head almost a little bit.
Whirlwind as well, too. He's going to be able to fill up his entire board here.
Yeah, I wonder if Kaldi just kind of feels bad for this spot. You know, hasn't really done much this game. Kaldi's had the right answers at the right times, been able to be more aggressive, and Powder just hasn't been able to get anything rolling.
Yeah, now if you're Powder, what do you do here? Do you just play Loatheb and hope? Do you taunt up a Druid of the Claw and hope? I mean, I guess you have to play Druid of the Claw and like attack here with your hero power.
Yeah, you just play Druid of the Claw, hope it works out for the best, and at the end of the day, you know, when if your opponent's 3-card hand is Grim Patron, Warsong Commander, Whirlwind with a Death Spite out, you're just gonna lose that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite the get in here kind of moment.
Yeah, Kaldi looking solid with Grim Patron Warrior. It continues to pick up a lot of wins for him. This game's no exception. He's going to take a 2-0 lead here over Powder. It looks like he's been getting the better of these matches so far.
Yeah, also not having to play on his phone. You know, getting to actually do this on his computer here. A little easier to run through all these animations.
Yeah.
He's got to sequence correctly here. He might need to attack before he whirlwinds here.
Yeah, it doesn't
one of these.
It doesn't matter too much. He's just
he's
got more than enough damage.
Oh yeah, it actually doesn't even matter. Yeah, it just takes care of the This was either way you do it, it works.
Yep. So that's going to spell the end for Powder here. But you know, there's always game 3, 4, and 5. You know, he just has to win 3 straight at this point. Not the spot that he wanted to be in, but you know, Play will get in this situation, and they fought back from it before. We've seen reverse sweeps so far.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of reverse sweeps, and you know what? Powder's the kind of guy that can do it. He's very aggressive, very hard to pinpoint. He can be all over the place, and he's the kind of guy I feel that sometimes he plays better when he has a challenge in front of him.